So, northern Idaho is like it's different than the rest of Idaho. I've been hearing.
Mhm.
How is it different, maybe from the rest of the state?
Yeah, great question. So a lot of it just is the terrain itself and the landscape. And so we're really surrounded by a tremendous amount of trees and bodies of water. So we have two of the largest lakes up here in North Idaho, actually three of the largest lakes up here in North Idaho. And so we're fortunate enough to live right around, and we have a boat slip on Lake Coeur d'Alene. And it's a beautiful lake. I mean, people
Hmm.
compare it to Lake Tahoe, people compare it to other lakes, mountain lakes, and it's just
Hmm.
one of the most stunning, I think, drives for people to do. There's just so much to see, but just the sheer beauty. And
Hmm.
then the ski resorts, that's another factor that you have. You have three ski resorts in the area. You're 30 minutes from a international airport in Spokane. So we're right in that panhandle of Idaho. So it's right in the skinny. So we're close to Montana, we're close to Washington, and then we're close to Canada. And so it's got a lot of great benefits to it.
So there's a funny story that I'm going to share because when I met Chris, I was not living in Idaho, and I asked where he was from, and he said Idaho, and I asked him if he was a potato farmer. It's still a running joke because he was like, no, I am not a potato farmer. I live in North Idaho. And I was like, well, what do you mean? I thought everybody in Idaho was on a potato farm. So there is a bit of a, when you hear Idaho, people think farms, they think potatoes. And in North Idaho, it's very, very different. It would be much more, in my opinion, like Montana. When I first came here,
Hmm.
that was my perspective coming from the Midwest. Now, if you go to the southern part, central or southern part of the state, it feels there are mountains and there are some things, but it feels a little bit more like farm country and so forth, like I grew up.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that we went past we went to the street fair today or yesterday,
Oh,
which was this
cool.
weekend. So Coeur d'Alene has a lot of things to do, which is one of the things I love the most about it. Because I love just to be out around people and doing things.
Yeah.
So there's an art on the green and a street fair every single year in the summer in August. So we took our boat down and did that this weekend. And there's a shirt that said, what about potatoes? I don't know, but it made me laugh. And so I think when people think about Idaho, that's what they think of. And then when they realize what Coeur d'Alene and North Idaho has to offer, it's completely different. So
Hmm.
that would be an observation for somebody that didn't know much about Coeur d'Alene and then just here.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, that was so good. So we're gonna shed some light on this, like for you if you're not super familiar with the area. Talk a little bit about the like so the lake. Topography has a big impact on how you interact and how you're living and doing things. And I know in Florida, someone was telling me in the kind of in the Panhandle, they have a really big boat culture. So it sounds like you're just like, oh yeah, we took the boat out this
Yeah.
weekend. Is that a part? Yeah, talk about that more, like the culture.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a big part of the lake. One of the biggest attractions to people, and one of the icons of the thought of Coeur d'Alene is the Coeur d'Alene Resort. And so they have a big boat show every year. They have a tremendous amount of boat slips in there, and then you have a wooden boat parade. I mean, there is just a tremendous amount of people coming from all directions to the area. So a lot of folks from Washington, a lot of people, from Coeur d'Alene, Hayden, and so forth will store their boats, there and get them out in the water. It's just it's 27 miles long. So
Hmm.
it's not like you're congested with a ton of people on the water.
That's a big lake, yeah.
Yeah.
And the resort also has cruise.
Yes.
Cruise ships, for a lack of a better word. They're not really ships, but large cruise boats.
Mhm.
So they do music on the water all summer long. There's yoga on the boats in the mornings on Thursdays, which I still have yet to do, but I'm going to do that hopefully this year.
Large boardwalk.
Yes.
At the resort there. And there's restaurants on the lake. And so that's just part of the summer months, which, you enjoy 3 to 4 months out of the year, maybe 5 months if you squeeze, a late September, early October out. But you can really enjoy it that time of year and just be out in the sun and enjoy the water.
That's why we're so tan.
Yes.
Even though we live in the north, we spend most of our time on the boat or on our dock. But it is really, when you speak of culture, I think that's what draws people. There's lots of second home owners here.
Hmm.
And so lots of people who have homes on the lake, cabins, or will just literally purchase a boat slip and then just have their boat all summer here, because you literally could, live on the water. I mean, it's very dry. I came from a similar northern climate, moving from another place here into Coeur d'Alene. And the things that I would say I enjoy the most about it is that because it's a bit more arid and dry, you don't have a lot of rain. So, you can really count on a lot of those 3 months to be dry, sunny, warm, and you can really take advantage of it. Which is also a reason that a lot of people have Airbnb or other short-term rentals here. We're both in the real estate business. And so, we have owned those as well. And we also help people purchase those properties so that they might think that they want to retire here or spend some time here, but they can also be an investment for them because it is really a destination area.
Yeah.
But the people that live here get to take advantage of the culture because there's also a lot of things that just happen downtown, from fairs to concerts to car shows and parades. And I mean, pretty much all summer long, live music. You can really spend time not only during the week, but during the weekends, just enjoying the time outside and counting on that. Pretty dry, not very humid, not many bugs. If you're coming from the Midwest and you're thinking about moving here, those are the triggers that are going to be interesting to you because they are to me. Obviously different for other people, but
I would just add too, Brian, it's not exclusively though boats too. There is some great fishing on a few of the rivers here, Coeur d'Alene River and the St. Joe River, that feed into Lake Coeur d'Alene. And a lot of people enjoy not only the fishing, but also just the kayaking, the rafting, the tubing. And those are some big summer events for people. And they really, really do enjoy that. And it's just it's a great day, to spend on the river too. So I wouldn't just say the lake is the only place to cool off. So you can really enjoy the river as well.
Tubing. I mean, there's just a lot of things that tourists and people that live here do.
It sounds like a beautiful place. And it sounds like the American dream is still alive and well. In the area. Yeah. That's amazing. Yeah. So cool. Well, is there anything I didn't ask or you wanted to include?
No, we have a Costco.
Costco, cool.
That's one of the biggest questions we have.
That is a big question.
You would be totally
it's a thing. If you like what you're hearing so far, check out the full episode right here.